Good blessed Tuesday morning, February the 2nd, 2021. The time being about 10:10 a.m. I greet all you all with its universal greetings of peace and the blessings of God be with you. Doesn't matter what your political, philosophical, personal, nor religious beliefs may be. Doesn't matter whether you're the richest or the poorest or person on the face of this earth. Doesn't matter whether you the proclaim toughest or the proclaim weakest person on the face of this earth. Doesn't matter if you my family, friends, nor my proclaim enemies. I greet you all with that same universal greetings of peace and the blessings of God be with you. Today, I just want to let everybody know, if you want to see the obituary, part of it is up right now. It's basically the part that's up right now is really what's going into the newspaper. A little later on this afternoon or this evening on this day, the full obituary should be up for my dad's life celebration. Johnny A. Ivy Sr., some people call him Pancho. World War II veteran, honorably discharged. You can go to Driver, DRIVER, funeral home services.com, and you can see the part of the obituary is up right now, and then you can see the rest. But a couple of days ago, every now and then, my dad's dad, Barry B. Ivy, may he rest in peace. May my dad rest in peace. My dad was a elder. He was a preacher. My dad brother, may he rest in peace. Ernest Ivy Sr., also known as PC, he's a career war veteran. He passed away in 2004. He's buried out in Bloomfield, Missouri Military Cemetery, where my dad would be going for his final resting place this Friday, February the 5th, 2021. But he was a preacher too, my uncle, Ernest Ivy. Some people say that I'm a preacher, but I'm not a preacher. I am an ambassador of Jesus Christ. Dispatch any place on the face of this earth to tell the people the word, tell them the truth, nothing but the truth. All right now, so help me God. I want y'all to take a look at this. The last sermon I did, I don't even call it sermon, I call it a message. The last sermon that I did was a few days ago, and it was talking about, would a man rob God? Malachi, I believe it was the 4th chapter, the 8th verse. And I spoke and didn't mention no names. I spoke about a few preachers that I know that they use this, but they robbing God. But then I just recently now I never mentioned damn one of them name. Now, all of a sudden, somebody must be a prophet. They unidentified all three of these individuals that I was talking about. Whether it's true or not, they don't know. I know and God know, and anybody that I told know. But the individuals that claim to know, they don't know. You see what I'm saying? But let me tell you my other topic today. Because you got to beware of people that's around you, sometimes even family. Sometimes even people that call themselves your friends. Learn the Bible for yourself. Now, I want you to look at in the book of Philippians, the 3rd chapter. I believe it's the 2nd verse. Oh, it's real clear. And I'm going to break it down to you. You see what I'm saying? Some people, because they bishops and call themselves apostles and all that stuff don't mean a thing. Believe me, anybody can call themselves anything. You got judges down here, and not all, if the shoe fit, wear it down here in Charles, Missouri, Mississippi County, and probably got them all over the nation. They call themselves a judge during the daytime, and at nighttime, they got a hood on their head and sheets on their shoulders. Same with police. We seen it in Washington, D.C. I'll never let it die down. We seen it in Washington, D.C. January the 6th, on Wednesday, January the 6th, 2021. You had state troopers, you had National Guards, you had one of the ladies that got killed there. Some of y'all don't know. One of the 5 people that got killed in Washington during that riot, trying to get in the White House, it was a female got shot by the police because she was breaking into the White House, and she had been in the Air Force for 19 years. That go to show you what she thought about this country. She wasn't finna have some black woman coming up in the White House. You see what I'm saying? She wasn't finna have nobody tell Donald Trump that he can't no longer be president. Donald Trump didn't have the power that them people thought he had. Donald Trump had a lot of money, but Donald Trump probably ain't got no more money than I do, because he's selling one of his hotels. But let me get to the message. The message today is beware of those dogs. I don't want you to misunderstand when I say beware of them dogs. This is what the Bible says. Philippians, the 3rd chapter, the 2nd verse. Now, it says D-O-G-S, and it's not talking about 4-legged dogs. It's talking about human beings. And I'm going to let you see how I know they're talking about human beings, and it's not talking about a 4-legged dog. It says, beware of dogs, beware of evildoers, and beware of circumcision. Now, a dog, if anybody ever had one, I trains dogs. Now, if you ever had a dog before, and your dog, when he know he done good, he wagging his tail, jumping up and down. Sometimes they be so happy to see you, they pee all over the place, wiggling, and just, they bladder get kind of weak. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about, but I'm going to break it down. See, some of them bitches don't like, I don't have to write nothing down. I come from this heart, and I come from what God give me. Mine is divine revelations. You see what I'm saying? Now, let me show you this here. When a dog done did wrong, you can tell it when the dog did wrong. A dog would put his head down, and he put his tail in his behind. All right, cuz. And put his tail in his behind because he know he done wrong. Now, let's get to what they say, that evil doers, the snake. All right, now. You see, don't too many people hate me, do they? They're riding down the street waving. They ain't cussing me out and all that. The only one doing that is these bishops and apostles and some of these missionaries, even some of these mothers and deacons on the board, if the few fit wear. But let me show you this here. A snake. Some of y'all probably done seen it before. Snakes can be in your family. Snakes can be your husband. Snakes can be your wife. Snakes sometimes can even be your children. You better watch out, y'all. If they shit, y'all hear some shooting, I ain't gonna duck, because it'll be my time to go. I'm tired here on earth anyway. I don't want my daughters and them to hear that, because they're gonna get to crying. That's all they do, get to crying when I said I'm tired. But let me tell you this here. A snake would look you right in your eye. If you're married, if you a woman and you done seen your husband come out the hotel with one of them hoochie mamas, or if you a husband and you done seen your wife come out of there with some old slick Romeo, and then you tell him about it later, he'll look you right in your eye. What he gonna say? Oh, baby, you ain't seen me. Your wife gonna say, honey, you ain't seen me. Get to hugging you and everything. Let me take a shower and we gonna make this here up. Yeah, you gotta take a shower because you gotta get that. Let me stop it, y'all. A snake would look you right in the eye. But the Bible telling you, it educates you to beware of these people. And you want me to tell you 99%, well, I'm going to say 90% of the time where I see these, what they talk about in Philippians, the 3rd chapter, the 2nd verse, the beware the dogs and the evildoers, I see them right in church. I see them behind the pulpit. I see them on the deacon's board. I see them on the mother's board. Some of them evil. You see what I'm saying? Let me show you something. And my daddy passed away this Saturday. And what's the day? Tuesday. One of his sister-in-laws ain't came down. Ain't called damn time. Ain't even allowed my dad's brother. He didn't get a chance to see his brother before he died. But they want to come down here and pray. When they get through praying, then they want to go tell people. I looked them right in his eyes. Now, people all the way from Chicago telling me what these people telling them down here in Charleston, Missouri. My daddy been down here 6 years. They ain't been down here 6 days. But I ain't angry at you. You're going to be highly upset at that service, because I'm going to let you get up there. I'm going to video you. And when you get through, I'm going to be decent and in order. But I'm going to tell you, when my daddy was hungry, you didn't feed him. When my daddy was alone, you didn't come down and visit him. But I'm going to leave that alone. But let me tell you this here. Now, you could call all the way to Chicago telling somebody, I prayed, he looked me in my eyes. What business if he looked you in your eyes or looked at your ugly face, looked at your nappy hair? He might have was saying, Raymond, Queen, and Bertie, get her out of here. Where's she been all this time? I'm on my dying bed. My daddy knew he was going the next day. That's why he probably looked in our eyes. I want you to remember these eyes. The eyes that you never came down here and visit. Your eyes you ain't never been to no hospital. But I'm going to leave that alone. And back to these bishops and these preachers and these other people. Watch your circle, y'all. You got a lot of dogs. You got a lot of evildoers in your circle. But you can tell them by the fruit they bear. You see what I'm saying? One thing about me, I learned a long time ago when I was in the world. You can find out your circle who out there running their mouth. All you got to do is tell them something that you ain't told nobody else. And when somebody else get it, guess what? You ain't got to go process elimination. You know who it is. See, a lot of people think Raymond Lewis Ivy is dumb. They think I'm weak. They done called me everything under the sun. Every time I got a lawsuit down here or some type of settlement, I went and gave money to these churches. Let me give honor to 2 preachers, one from out of Southern Illinois, but he built churches right here in Charleston, Missouri. He rest in peace, him and his wife, Bishop James Winfield, and his wife, Pearlie Winfield. Good people. When I wasn't coming to the church, after my grandmother died, he would come to my house, and they was elderly people. And I can't forget Charles Ivy and his wife, Rosie Ivy. May Charles Ivy rest in peace, and may God continue to bless Rosie Ivy down here in Southeast Missouri, because she's really doing God's work. If Charles Ivy and Bishop Whitfield was alive, it wouldn't have nothing stopped them. Corona wouldn't have stopped them. Let me tell you, a lot of people say Corona stopped them from things. I looked at this the first stimulus check that came out. And people say, oh, I can't make it over here because of that Corona. Soon when that thing come out, my daughter and them showing me people, look at they at the mall shopping. Peace be still. That's their money. That's their prerogative. And I know it's good to be safe. But if you can go to the mall, you can come see the sick. You see what I'm saying? If you can go get that lick and that cigarettes, you see what I'm saying? You can come see the sick. But everybody ain't about God's business. One thing about anybody that know me, I have almost 300,000 viewers on my YouTube. Raymond, R-A-Y-M-O-N-D, Ivy Right. I don't boast about it. I don't ask nobody at the end of my message, I want you to send me money to such and such. Now, if you want that, you go to T.D. Jakes. You go to Kenneth Copeman. You go to Joe Epstein. You go to Clefo Dollar. You go to all them multi-billionaires. And then I can't leave out these preachers and bishops and people down here in Southeast Missouri. They on the attack on me, y'all, for my sermon, Would a Man Rob God? See, when he had it in there, he wasn't talking about the congregation. He was talking about you same bishops and preachers and ministers and mothers and deacons, if the shoe fit, wear it, that's out here robbing God. You see, when Jesus got angry when he went in the synagogue and turned over them tables, he didn't turn over them tables because of the members. He come to turn over the table because of them individuals that was running those synagogues, ripping the people off. They do it today. A preacher or a bishop or apostle, whatever they want to call themselves, I don't honor none of that stuff. You see what I'm saying? Unless I know they sent by God. You can tell by the work they do. You see what I'm saying? But after they sermon, they'll tell you, I'm selling my book. You know, then now they even got things where you can swipe. If you ain't got cash, they'll have a credit card. I mean, they have a machine for you to put your credit card in. But they want to sell their books. They want to sell their CDs. You don't supposed to do that stuff in church. You want to sell church dinners. You don't supposed to do that stuff in church. But remember, Philippians, y'all, the 3rd chapter, the 1st verse, it clearly said it. It ain't me saying it. It said, beware of dogs, D-O-G-S. And it's not talking about no four-legged dog. It's talking about human beings. It said, beware of evildoers. Beware of dogs and evildoers, y'all. Y'all watch yourselves. You see, I'm seeing it now. Down here in Southeast Missouri, ain't nan family member asked me, do you need anything? I'm talking about down here in South, well, one in Cape. And he married into the family. And I always give him high honor. Ain't nan one of them called, ain't nan one of them asked, but I don't need them. My daddy's service is finna be taken care of. You see what I'm saying? You know why? Because my parents taught me well, and I'm teaching my daughters. You never depend on somebody else besides God. And see, everybody can't do nothing. But you got these individuals that want to be seen by man all the time. But then when it's time to give, they ain't got nothing to give. And I ain't asking for nothing. But I'm just trying to let you see how it is. You know, people showed me some of these so-called kin folks down here. When my dad died, they ain't called yet. Living on the same street. You see what I'm saying? With the exception of my Uncle Percy. I know if he could dial, he'll dial. That's my blood. But when you can go to Boomland, sit down and eat yesterday, you and your sister, I ain't gonna say nothing. You can love that, but then some of your kin folks tell me, I'm sorry to hear about your loss. If your kin folks telling me they sorry to hear from my loss, then you supposed to be married into the family. I know you know, but you want to come down here, talk about you praying. Then when you go calling people and everywhere else, Chicago, yeah, I seen, looked right in his eyes the day before he died. Beware them dogs. Beware them evildoers. And I'm not upset. I'm not mad. I'm just 100. I know some of the family members don't like me saying it, but I'm 100. I ain't going to cuss nobody out. You follow what I'm saying? But I'm going to set them out. So Friday, don't come down to that funeral home getting up there lying saying, oh, I miss John A. Don't say it, because when you miss a person, you show it. Either you can call, you can text, you can pray. But I know all of y'all that cares, and it's a lot of family that do. But I'm going to tell y'all, we ain't got no help down. We ain't had a bit of help. Y'all seen yesterday, my daughters and them had to fire up my car to go bring my daddy's Kango to the funeral home in Sykeston, because ain't no family asking nothing. You know why? Because ain't nothing else they can do. They thinking we going to ask them for something. We ain't going to ask you for nothing. We ain't going to ask you for a penny. We didn't ask you for nothing since we've been living here. My daddy been down there 6 years, and some of y'all will be real shameful that live right here on the same street and ain't been down to my house 6 times. Ain't invited us down to your house not one time. But when my Uncle Percy was up and moving around, he'd always come to see his brother. One thing about my Uncle Percy, my daddy, and all of their brothers and sisters, they had a bond. They loved each other. You see what I'm saying? But y'all listen to this here. Beware of these dogs and evildoers now. 6 years he been down here. 6 years, 3 months, and 4 days. Surely they ain't been down in those 6 months. Surely they ain't even been down here a good 4 days. Uncle Percy did. And I love him for that. And some of my other cousins that live in St. Louis, when they come here, they make sure they get in contact with me. That's how that's how real Ivy's is. But I'm going to leave right now, y'all. But I'm happy. I'm happy because my dad, I'm going to sing a part of this song that my mama used to sing, and my daddy used to sing it too. It said, I want to be at the meeting. It said, I want to be at the meeting. I want to be at the meeting when all the saints get home. After separating all the rights and the wrongs. Church, I want to be in that number when the saints go marching home. Troubles will be over, sorrows will be done, and then we will have a meeting around the throne. But it said, listen to this verse right here. When I get to heaven, I know my daddy and all of his sisters and brothers saying, when I get to heaven, I'll meet my mother there. And this is what she'll say, God Almighty, here come my child. He must have got here by prayer. We'll be at home. We'll sing a brand new song. Then we will have a meeting around the throne. I love y'all, family. Everybody ain't family, y'all. We got some of them that Philippians, the 3rd chapter, the 2nd verse said, beware them dogs, y'all. Peace be still.